I'm Amy and I'm at the Life Lab Blooming Classroom, and today we're gonna make some food. So I got my hands all nice and clean. I have some ingredients in front of me, and with these ingredients, we're gonna make a tiny garden. What I have here is some dinosaur kale, some broccoli, some little lettuce leaves, some sun gold cherry tomatoes, some chives, and some red pepper. You can also use pretty much what you have in your fridge. I also have two different kinds of seeds. I have sunflower seeds and I have sesame seeds, and I have some spreads here. And you can use many kinds of spreads for this snack. I have hummus, or I have whipped cream cheese. I have refried beans, but they have been thinned down with a little bit of water so that they spread more easily. Any spread you use for this snack has to be able to spread pretty easily so that what you're spreading it on doesn't crack. And the things we're gonna be spreading it on, we have either rice cakes here or we have tostadas. You could also use a large cracker if you have that at home. But there's a lot of flexibility, so you probably have some things at home that you could use for this. Knives. This is our favorite knife for kids to use. This is a Curious Chef knife, and it's made out of plastic and it doesn't cut you. And you can use this in a pinch too. This cuts things pretty well because it has this serrated edge, just like this one. So you can saw with it when you're cutting up your veggies. And before we start making our snack, I like to think about what is in a garden. That will give me ideas for what I might want to put in my tiny garden. So if you are somewhere where you can look outside or go out into a garden, great. If you can't, think in your mind about a garden that you've been in before and think about, what did you see there? Maybe you saw some trees in a garden, maybe you saw flowers, maybe you saw some veggies growing, maybe you saw birds, maybe you saw worms, maybe you saw a honeybee buzzing around, maybe you saw fences or gates or pathways or dirt or garden beds. There's so many different things to see in a garden, and you can put any of those things in your tiny garden. It's only limited by your imagination. It could have a dragon if you wanted. It could have clouds. It could have anything you want. So we'll start with a base for our garden. And you could use, like I said, a tostada. You could use a rice cake. You could use a big cracker. You could even use a piece of bread if that's what you have. I'm gonna use a tostada today. And on this base of my garden, this is like our bedrock here, I am gonna spread some of these refried beans. Okay, so I spread my refried beans, and what could this be in our garden? I think this is gonna be the soil that everything is growing in this garden. So what do I wanna grow in there? What could these cherry tomatoes be in our garden? You know what these are reminding me of with their bright orange color? They're reminding me of some pumpkins, and I'm gonna make a pumpkin patch. Pumpkin plants have a lot of leaves, so we're gonna stick some leaves in this pumpkin patch. You know, before I plant anything else, I think I want a path to walk on. I'm gonna put a path right down the center of my garden, and these are gonna be the rocks that make up my path. I want some little rocks in my path. And you know, in my garden, there tend to be a lot of little rocks everywhere, so I'm just gonna do that. What could this red pepper be in our garden? If I cut a piece that looks like this, what could we do with it? A little bench for sitting on in our garden. Some fence around the edge. And we could even have some red roses growing right next to the pumpkin patch. When I cut the broccoli, I'm gonna show you how to do my favorite cutting method, which is called claw and saw. So I'm gonna make, with my hand that I'm holding the veggie with, I'm gonna make a claw, like a bear. And then with my serrated knife, I'm gonna saw. And that way I keep my fingers safely tucked under. What can I make here? I already have a bench, but I think I want some other little seating areas in my gardens. And this part of the broccoli is gonna be a great big shady tree that will make it even nicer to hang out in our garden together. What could this kale be? I think I just want to tear the kale, and I want to make just a little grassy area around where we get to relax. What could the chives be in our garden? This one's gonna be a garden border that goes almost all the way around. So maybe our garden is full. I'm not sure if we could fit much more in this garden, but before I eat it, if I'm with some other people, I could share what's in my garden. I could describe it to them. I could show them everything that my imagination put into this garden. And remember, everyone's imagination is different. So every single garden will come out different. Also, a great way to make sure your garden keeps on living even after you eat it is to take a photo. A photo of it will last forever. And if you're doing this with school, you could share that photo with your teacher and with your class. And then, once you've taken that photo, then you get to eat it. I want to do the same thing a little bit different way another time. I could do a challenge to harvest all 6 different plant parts and get them all into my garden. Or I could do a rainbow challenge and try to get every color of the rainbow in here.
2, 1, crunch!